Hello. We're here. We're here. Hello. Oh, Facebook is live. Hello. Hello. Hi, everybody. Come on in. Okay. Oh, hi, Kelly. Yay. You're here. Welcome. Welcome. I am so excited to bring this message through for you because it is one of my favorite topics. I could talk all day and all night about this, truly. I really could. I love talking about soul stuff and channeling and energy and, yeah, flow, all of that. So I am just going to wait a minute for everybody to come in. So say hi when you get here and let me know you're here. I I don't know if I don't know if anybody else is here, but on Facebook, but say hi anyways, and I will go back and look at the comments if I don't see them. All right. Hello. So tonight we're going to be talking about channeling and what is channeling and what does that even mean? What does it look like? Is that something that is even possible for me? And if so, how do I do it? Yeah, I actually have, just to give you a little background, I started learning how to channel back in 1995, I'm thinking. I think my daughter was about 3 years old, or actually it might have been earlier, 1993. I don't know. I'd have to pull out all my journals and go back and look. But that's when I got serious about it. That's when I really started to hone the skill and commit to it. And that wasn't a difficult decision for me because I have always had a draw to mystical things, spiritual things my entire life. Even as a young child, I was questioning, why are we here? How did we get here? How did people get here? How does this work? How does this hold together? Like, I was questioning about energy at a very young age. And so this search, this learning for me has been going on for many years, and I have been absolutely blessed to have had some amazing teachers come through my life. One is my shaman teacher, who I learned the very foundations of meditation, of energy, and that was Catherine Gorman Lovelady. And I also have to say my grandmother, because my grandmother loved to talk spiritual things with me, loved to talk about energy and read tarot cards, and she gave me a card. She wanted to make sure that I knew how to create sacred space, and she gave me a card with the prayer, a prayer on there of protection, and she told me to carry it with me at all times. And I actually have two. I have one in my medicine bag and I have one in my wallet, mostly because it's near and dear to my heart from her. So this journey has been a very long one for me, and I've learned how to channel and hone and channel for other people. Now, the first question is what exactly is channeling? Like, what do we mean by that? And channeling is opening up to subtle realms of energy. It's receiving messages, knowings, intuitive hits that seemingly come from outside of you. Like, they just don't feel like they're coming through your mind. You kind of go, oh, where did that idea come from? Or it's a feeling right inside of you that I just know, right? So and that's what channeling is. And so what does it look like? Well, it looks like that. It's like an intuitive knowing. It's mother's instinct, right? If you've ever had that happen, it's like, oh, I just have a feeling about this. You're channeling, right? It's an image that maybe pops into your mind, a phrase, right? Anything like that. And by the way, you guys, if you have questions, please feel free to put them in there, and I will probably answer them along the way, but just put them in. So it looks different for everyone, but when you get an answer that spontaneously pops into your head and you're like, oh my gosh, why didn't I think of that before? Right? Some people kind of hear a phrase, a thought, a song will pop into your head. Some people see a vision, like get a mental picture in your mind. But that's it. It looks different for everyone, but it's coming through for you, right? And some people, it comes in their writing, which I'll talk about in a minute too. So the biggest question that I get from people is, how do I know it's real? How do I know it's wise and not something else? So the way you know is by the feeling that you get in your body. Higher wisdom is always loving and supportive. And the more you learn how to channel, and the more you channel, the more you begin to identify the different, it's like a different feeling with different energies. So some vibrations are very, very high and very like, sweet child, we are here, we love you. Very, very loving. And those are kind of angelic. Others are maybe kind of higher guides that are just, they'll joke, they'll give you information, and it's still very loving and supportive. Never, ever critical or judgmental. So if you think that your angels or your guides are saying to you, well, you blew that again, right? That's not them. That's probably, I'm going to take this earring off so it doesn't bang on there. That's probably your own inner criticism talking to you there. Because a loving guide would say, it's okay. It's okay. Let it go. Laugh about it. Find something funny about it. Lighten up about it, right? Instead of like, well, you're going to have to try that again, right? So one thing I want to say right here and now, though, too, is that I don't mingle with anything lower. I don't believe there are evil spirits, but I do believe that people have a dark side, and people can project lower energies, and you can feel that. I had a very clear experience once in my life that taught me what low energy feels like. And I was an insurance broker at that time, and I was trying to build my business up, trying to build the practice up as an insurance broker and get clients, because we worked on commission. And I got a call from a salesman guy, a car salesman, and he wanted me to meet with him at the car sales place and talk about insurance. So I went and I met with him, and it became very clear that what he wanted me to do was backdate policies for his clients, so that if anything happened, the insurance, if it wasn't in place, they would have me come in, create an insurance policy, but backdate it to whenever the accident happened. So I got myself out of there pretty quickly, and I just wanted to go home and take a shower. It just felt like slimy and creepy and bleh. And that experience really did show me that, okay, that's what lower energy feels like, right? And I've never forgotten that. And I'm sure you have all had some sort of an experience where you were like, okay, that was just creepy and slimy, right? So what I do what I teach for, and then we got people in here that have taken my Creative Mystic course. What I teach is how to create sacred space so that, you know, you're not walking into any of that darker, heavier energy from other people. I mean, why would we want to even try to connect with that? So there are people that channel spirit, that channel like dead people, right? There's another way to say that. They channel dead people. Nothing wrong with that, right? I've had that come through for me. Nothing wrong with that. The people that have come through mainly just kind of show up in the room and just are present, and just the message is always the same, that they want you to know they're here and they love you, right? And so it's beautiful, it's lovely, but that's not where my focus is. Why would I want to focus on that when I can channel a higher wisdom that is older than the earth, right? Like, why not tap into that higher, wise, frequency rather than down here? So it's like, different radio stations you can tune into, and you learn how to do that. So, just that, I just wanted to let you know, like, the universe, this higher wisdom is pure love, and it's of the highest frequency, right? So why wouldn't we want to tap into that and be communing with that rather than anything else? So it's almost like, I just turn my back to anything else. And it's like, I'm not interested. I'm not interested, so I'm not going there. And I'm not afraid of it either, because I've learned there's nothing to be afraid of. There's absolutely nothing to be afraid of, right? Nothing can hurt you. So the feeling when you channel is what you want to connect with. The feeling when something comes through is exhilarating. It's loving. It's supportive. It's pure love. It's actually, it's ecstasy feeling. Like, you come out of it. I come out of it when I do a guided meditation in my groups, and it happens that we get a channeling that comes through, like, I come out of it so, let's do that again, right? Because it feels so good, right? And it's just such great information. So make sure that when you're like questioning, well, did I imagine that or not? And sometimes it comes through really subtly in the beginning, and you learn how to start to trust that. And I'll talk about how you do that. Okay, so the next question I always get is, well, I don't have that gift. It's like, who can channel? Everyone can channel. It's like riding a bike. Everyone could ride a bike if they wanted to. We all have that ability within us, but it takes training. It's a skill that you refine and tune up, right? Not everybody wants to ride a bike, right? Not everybody wants to go to the gym and work out, but that's what you do when you want to learn to channel your soul. It's about committing and saying, okay, I'm going to learn how to do this. I'm going to spend some time each day, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to refine my skills, right? I really, really wish, this is the direction we're going in humanity, is that everyone is going to know how to channel their soul. Everyone is going to know how to connect with their soul. This is where humanity is going. This is the higher frequencies of humanity, right? We have nowhere else to go. We've got all the technology, and what we need to do is refine the soul, right? The heart, the compassion, the empathy. Wouldn't it be amazing if everyone was connected to their soul? Sorry, I'm getting off track. So the soul work, I wish that I wish that they had that in school, a class for every grade level that they take. Not a religion class, a soul class. How do you connect to your soul? Kids are great. They already are connected. The problem is we tap that out of them, right? Right? So you already channeled as a child. You did it. So how do you do this now? As an adult, coming back into it, how do you channel? There's 7 things I want to share with you. Okay, so if you're taking notes, number 1 is the intention and creating space. So it's like deciding to lose weight or deciding to go to the gym or training a dog. You've got to commit to it and say, okay, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to create the space every day to do this, to work on this, right? So creating practices, meditation and prayer and journaling, and of course reading about it. Read about it. There are so many books about it. So that's number 1, is your intention and creating space for it in your life. And I sure hope you do, because the life is so much better when you have that soul connection. There is peace, there is joy. It's not just, those aren't just words that we use. You truly feel that in your body. And when things go crazy or sideways, you might go crazy or sideways for a little bit, but you find your way back to that center so much faster. You don't have depression, anxiety, right? It just eliminates that for the vast majority of people. I do know that some people, there's a health thing around that, medical, but wow, there is so much more to this, right? Okay, so the second thing I want to tell you is you need to tap into your divine feminine. Now, this is a buzz phrase right now. It really is, because this is how we find our way back. The divine feminine part of you, and we all have both masculine and feminine in us, and the men do too, but we have been living in a world that has been very male-dominated, masculine-dominated, and so we need to come back to balance, right? Coming back to a balance, the whole world. It's not about the women taking over. It's not a feminist movement. It is about bringing balance back into our lives in the feminine energy. Making space for the feminine, the softness. So the woman, the feminine, I should say, is soft. It is open, receiving. It is centered, creative, right? It is getting in touch with that part of you is so important. And it's a feeling in your body of releasing and letting go. It is not weakness. No, the feminine is very, very strong, but in a different way, right? So the divine feminine and any divine feminine information that you can take in, I highly recommend taking that in. So the third thing is, this is how to channel, right? So first was intention, create space, then making sure that you are accessing your divine feminine, allowing yourself that. The third thing is your creativity. Creativity is the gateway to opening up to your soul. That is the door that your soul's going to come through. And the creative process, like whatever you do creatively, can be incredibly transformational for you, right? So when you get into creativity, when you get into that creative flow, the process, not the product, although there is something in the product too, but the process of the creative flow is when you are opening up. That's when you open up to that wisdom. You're not blocking it with the left brain. You're playing around in that divine feminine creative side, and it just starts to come through. And one thing you'll notice too, and I always say this, is that when people start to have like a spiritual awakening, one of the very first things they want to do is get creative. One of the very first things they want to do is like, I need more creativity in my life. You know, maybe I want to learn to paint or knit or crochet or create a beautiful garden zen space, or, you know, whatever it is. That creative flow starts to come through, and there's a yearning to do more creative things. And that's why the creative part goes hand in hand with the learning how to channel. Because when that's what we do, right? That's what I do in my programs anyways, is we create space to be creative. And it doesn't matter if you've ever painted before or you haven't painted before. It is just about being in the creative flow and playing, allowing yourself to play like a child in that paint, and just spread some color around on the canvas. Don't let it scare you. Just take some blue and white and play with it on the canvas. That's all, right? Or on a paper. That's all. Doodling on a paper too. Same thing, right? Journaling. Okay, so number 4 is be in a community of soulful seekers that support. So that is so important, and that is the way I started. I started years and years and years ago in a circle of women. It was a medicine, Medeawin Society, which was Medicine Women's Circle, right? And that's where I learned. And we met once, twice a week, some weeks, and I had to drive to go. It was almost an hour drive, and I would drive there. Didn't matter what the weather was, because I so enjoyed these circles. And I would drive there from Kitchener, where we lived, all the way into Guelph, into the deep depths of Guelph. And Kimberly Berner here, one of our friends, these soulful women, she would drive with me. And sometimes Melba came too with me. And we would meet twice a week, and we would practice channeling for each other, and we would learn all sorts of things, right? All sorts of ways of creating sacred space, of feeling energy. We did all sorts of energy work. We did all sorts of healing modalities, shamanic travels, visioning, soul retrievals, right? So we were learning, and we did that for years. But we were committed, because we would go, and I had to pay too to be in these circles. It wasn't free. So being in a circle with other people that are like-minded is an incredible energy, and it needs to be non-competitive, non-judgmental. Sometimes ego can twist things around, but in the circles, if you can find a group that you can sit with and be with that are like-minded, and we are all doing the same thing, I experienced the increase of energy in those circles too. So we did things like we did some crazy things in those circles of bending metal and metal popping and moving just from working energy. But it was because we were in a circle and we were all contributing to that energy. So I had that beautiful experience of knowing how powerful circles are, how powerful our energy is when we come together. It exponentially expands. So that is so important, right? To come together. Now the 5th thing, which is really important, and what I really ground into my circles, is reverence. Okay? Remembering who we are and remembering this power that can come through us. It's not something to play with. It's not anything to be afraid of, but it is something to remember that it is sacred. It is a sacred power, and it is here for us to work with, right? Not for our own ego pleasures, but for the world, to create a better world, right? So when we come together with intentional energy, that's where big change can happen. We can vision in a better world. That's what we're supposed to be doing. There is mass spiritual awakening going on right now. And you all have the ability to channel your soul, to line up with it, to bring it through for guidance and intuition and inspiration. You all will find that you have, spiritual gifts that are stronger than others. So the channeling will come through in different ways for different people. And it's all perfect, right? All right. So the 6th point on how to channel is they create an intention to continually want to upgrade and become the highest possible potential human being that you can be in this life. So there's a continual growth and upgrading that happens as you go on. You don't just go, oh, okay, I know how to channel, done. If you stop working on it, it fades, right? You need to continue to be able to tap into that. And what you're really tapping into too is within the physical body, right? I feel it physically in my heart space. When I sit down to take some breaths to intentionally connect with my soul, I can feel it physically within my body. And I can't explain it. It's just a feeling within me. So you want to be elevating, right? Well, you want to keep going. And this is even what Kelly, you'll relate to this, Wayne Dyer taught. It was always about becoming a better person. I just want to be a better and better version of my light, right? And what I came here to do. So I'm not competing with anyone. I just want to be my best potential while I'm here and serve, help this world become a better place. And that's why you came. That's why you're here, right? So that personal intention is number 6. So number 1's intention is that I intend to learn. Number 6 is I intend to continually upgrade and reach higher levels for myself. Okay? We need to release being in this 3D world. This 3-dimensional world is filled with fear and ego, competition, pain. It hurts to be here a lot of times for a lot of people. And what we need to do is to move forward to the 4D and the 5D and beyond. So 4D is when you start to become aware that there's something else here other than just what I can touch and feel and maneuver with my physical senses. There's something else. 5D is when you're truly living in that. You know that there are other dimensional energies, that there is this access to your soul, to your higher wisdom, and that this is where you're living from. And that the 3D world is just a kind of a place to come and play and learn and grow, right? We're not so attached to it, but we're more attached to the soul, the heart and the soul. And so that is so important. Number 7, the last one, is one thing you can do is to keep doing things that make you feel alive. to keep moving forward with new adventures. And some of them might be very uncomfortable for you in some ways, but when we decide and we take a step in that direction, it's exhilarating and it makes you feel alive. And when you do that, it's like channeling is stronger, and it's like your frequency goes up so that you're getting closer to the higher wisdom or something. But there is, if you keep moving out of your comfort zone and doing things that might be a little uncomfortable or scary but are exhilarating at the same time, like traveling to new and different places, right? Taking courses, jumping in, doing, that feeling of, when you're going to start a new course. It's like, okay, I'm excited to get started, right? And it wakes you up. And that's the energy you want to be living in, is having that frequency of like anticipation, excited anticipation for what's coming next, instead of worry. Oh, I'm seeing comments there. Lynn is here. Yes, and Lynn, you were in those classes too. That's how we know each other. We go way, way back. You brought back so many wonderful memories of the work we did in that Guelph group. Yes, the power of that circle of women was life-changing for me. It is time to encourage more of that now in these remarkable times. Exactly. And it was life-changing for me too. It's the foundation of everything that I know today. And it was powerfully shifted my life and took me through some really rough times and helped me through those rough times, right? And the neat thing is, and I'll just add this in, I heard today, I was listening to Molly McCord, she's an astrologist, and she was talking about Saturn in Pisces, and that Saturn is in Pisces in 2023. And the last time it was in Pisces was back in 1993, more so in 1994 till 1996. And those were life-changing years for me. Not only were those the years that I went through my bankruptcy, that my first business went down in, and it was horrible and humiliating and really, really hard on my ego. But that's when I met Lynn and Catherine and Kimberly and in Melba, right? All those core women that we were learning. We were learning about what was coming with the earth changes. We were being trained for these times now. So, and we all learned along the way in some way, shape, or form. That's why we're here. And it's interesting because all of us that were in that circle, it's like we've been placed in different places around the world. And this is what we're doing. We want to bring everyone together into circles because that is incredibly powerful for healing. Not only the people, all of these mass people spiritually awakening and having all this like gunk in the trunk coming up and having to get cleared out, the healing circles of women together. And it can't just be one of us, it needs to be a few of us in this circle to hold space for them, for the healing. It heals us just as much in every level. It heals the earth. It grounds into the earth when we gather. It creates like an energetic funnel, goes into the earth, and then it holds space for the world too. All the work that you guys have been doing, that the light workers have been doing, is making a difference in our world, right? So this is what I'm offering in Soul Whispers and Creative Visions that we start on Friday. We gather, right? We learn how to channel and listen to our soul. We get verification that yes, that was your soul speaking. You need to hear that, because when you're first starting, you're like, I don't know, I think I'm imagining these things. It's just what I want. It's like, no, that was your soul Okay, here's your ego talking, right? And when we're in a group and we're talking together and we're learning about this, then it's so much easier. And also in the group, when we meditate, as I mentioned earlier, channeling comes through for the group, right? Messages for the group. So that is sweet. And I want to do that again. So I want you guys to come gather with me. And then, so we start on Friday. We gather together on Friday, this Friday. And then later in the month, we come together for just a creative gathering. We do something creative together, whether it's painting, drawing, doodling, whatever. And I give you exercises through the month to play with, to enhance your ability to listen to your soul. So it's not that hard, and it's not something that is out of reach for some people. We all have the ability to channel our soul, and this is what we need to learn how to do, is to tune in and connect to that soul whispers that are coming through for guidance. They're coming through with love and support. You're not in it alone. You don't have to do it alone. You have support, both here with us as a circle and in the subtle realms that are all around us. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. I'm not seeing any other comments. I'm going to, and I don't want to keep you for too long. My goal is always to try and keep these chats to half an hour. So I invite you to come and join Soul Whispers and Creative Visions. If this appealed to you and you're like, yeah, okay, I want to try and make some space for my soul too, because I really need that. I'm feeling that call for that. That is absolutely what's happening. And one of the things I do know, we looked to gurus like Wayne Dyer and like our shamanic teachers. It's good to learn from them. But right now, what we need to be doing is connecting to our own souls and listening to our own higher wisdom for us. We don't need anyone else telling us what to do in our lives and how to behave or act or what we should be doing. We need to be connecting here. And that's the message I want you all to take tonight. So thank you for joining me. Thank you. I will, like, if you want, on Instagram, the link for Soul Whispers and Creative Visions is in my bio, so you can just click the link to learn more about it. In the Soulfully Aligned Women's group in Facebook, it is pinned to the top in the featured part, so it is up there. So I love you guys. Thank you for being here. You're so welcome. Mwah. Have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow morning for meditation if you come to meditation. Have a great day, you guys. Bye.